All right, folks, we're continuing on with Cloud Run, but specifically with Cloud Functions. So I'm going to go to the Google Cloud page here. I'm going to type in Cloud Functions. And here we notice it says Cloud Run Functions, Cloud Run. It's basically the same thing, but we're going to write a function. I don't remember what options we have for functions here, but maybe like for languages, if there's Ruby, I'd love to do that. But let's go take a look here and see if they have some basic instructions for that, because that would be really, really nice. So here, this is for deploying a simple web service. Let's do a sample function, because the console can be a lot of work to click through all that stuff. And so what I'm looking for, yeah, I'd rather do it via G-Cloud. But we'll take a look and we'll see how much work it is. So yeah, we do have one for Ruby. Excellent. So folks, you're using Ruby today. It's my favorite. It's my favorite language. So let's go ahead and do that. I already have this open from last time. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go here and just say new folder. And this will be Ruby function. At this point, you should be familiar with this repo here at, this is at github.com/examproco GCP examples. And we're going to need to make a new file here. So we'll go ahead and make a new file. Whoops, not in there. But it was so darn easy to use Google Cloud Run. I don't even know why we would need functions, but you know, I guess there's less to manage. We'll go ahead and copy this. We'll paste this in here. Whoops. We'll paste this in here. And so what do we have? We are defining the functions framework. We're having to bring it in here. And notice the last thing is it's returning what you want to display. Okay. In Ruby, you don't need returns, but technically there's a return happening here. And we'll go ahead and paste it in. We'll take a look at some of the other ones, if just in case you are not familiar with Ruby. Let's take a look at what Python looks like. It looks very similar, but here they have the function there. For JavaScript, again, similar. Oh, they even have PHP. That's pretty cool. But let's go back over to Ruby. And I guess we're defining the route up here. But I guess we'll find out as we go through this. Or maybe I guess it's just the handler. So we're going to need a new gem file. We'll go back over to here and I'm going to cd out of here. We'll cd into the Ruby function and I'm going to do bundle init just to create that initial file. And you don't have to, but you could just make the file manually, but that's what I'm used to doing. We'll go ahead and paste that in. We'll do a bundle install. Okay, we'll make a readme.md here. So people have a little bit of information here. So the first step we want is just that bundle install. And notice that gem is called Functions Framework. Why doesn't they call it Google? I don't know, but that's totally fine. I mean, it is a Google project, right? So we go over here, we'll just say GitHub. It's most likely hosted on GitHub. Yep, I don't know, they don't put Google in the name. So down below here, we have our settings here. Ruby 3.4 is pretty new. I want to switch my region over here to North America. I don't know how to spell it, so what we'll do is maybe in here we can choose and find the exact value. We'll do this and we'll type in North America. Or yeah, so it's North America, Northeast 2. I just don't want to type it wrong. I'm notorious for typing things wrong. So we'll go over to here and I'll edit that. And so we have this command. I'm going to copy this over. If it's that easy, I'm going to be pretty happy. Deploy function. Let's just say other providers require a little bit more work to get going. So we have allow unauthenticated. We're going to use Ruby 3.4 as the base image. And yeah, that's the handler saying what function should it call and its source. We'll go ahead and do this. Now, I already did G-Cloud login. We've done that so many times. You should know how to do that by now. We'll go ahead and hit enter here. And I'm hoping that this will just go deploy and work. We'll give it a moment here. Okay. Well, let's take a look here. We have an error. So it says, is not ready and cannot serve traffic. The user provision container failed to start and listen on port defined provided by port 8080. Environment variable with the allocated timeout. This can happen when the container port is misconfigured. We didn't configure much, right? So I'm not sure what it's talking about, but we'll go take a look here and see what happened. It was almost super easy, but not quite. Run query, okay. So no information here. Did it even deploy? Let's go ahead and go to Cloud Run and take a look. We do have this here. It's not ready and cannot serve traffic. User provided container. The user provided container. Well, sure, but the container provided was the container that's a base image, right? Maybe it's out of date and the base image that it's suggesting is no longer available. I don't know. But we'll look at Google Cloud Run base images Ruby. Let's see if we can find that there. If we go over to here, I mean, 3.4 is not old, that's for certain. It's definitely newer. But here it says the base image is Google 22, Ruby 34. So, but here it just says 34, right? And then here is function endpoint. Let's go back over to here. Function's called hello get. The source is here. Yeah, what's wrong with this? I don't know. So we'll click back. You can't just follow instructions, eh? I'm gonna look into this 1 second, okay? So one thing I'm thinking is that it's using the base image of, well, it's using containers, right? Obviously. And so we are specifying the base image, which is Ruby 34. And I would think that would come from Docker Hub, right? And we could probably specify specifically that version if we wanted to, Ruby base image over here. We shouldn't have to do it this way, but we could be very specific and just say, hey, make sure you are absolutely using the Google Ruby one here. I'm not sure if that would help, right? Because this would probably go to Docker Hub, I would think. Like we go to Docker Hub, like this. Because there's also an official one, right? So I'm not sure which one it's pulling. I'm going to delete this function and try deploying it again, okay? So go back here, and I'm going to go delete this function. And we'll just try this one more time. Type in clear here. And we're going to copy this command, copy, and paste it in, and then hit enter. So it found the source, it's uploading the source. I don't know if it's putting in our container artifacts, but we can take a look here. So I would think it would just pull, right? So we'll go to artifact registry. Yeah, it's just the one there. Let's just check the container registry. I always get these two mixed up. One's newer than the other. I don't know which one's newer. I can't remember anymore. Here it says Cloud Run source deploy. That was 7 minutes ago. Okay. Ruby app, Ruby function. Ooh, that's confusing. But it looks like we have one here. Yeah, just now. So clearly it is using one. All the sizes are the same. It makes me think it's the same. We'll go back over to here and just wait, I guess, to see if it deploys. All right, so I wasn't able to figure out what the problem was, but you know, one thing we could do is we could try to download that container, because if that container is the problem, this one here, then maybe that would, by running it locally, we could find out if there's a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try to download this, and this might fail, but we'll try anyway. So I'll do docker pull, and we'll pull that image. It says access denied to pull that image. Okay, so then how do I get this image? Can we pull these? Here it says full base image. The default and the full. Let's go over to here. So the images are here. And what's interesting, we're seeing a bunch of deprecations here, but it seems like this is the latest one. It says latest public current image. So let's click into here and see if we can get the name of wherever it is. So somewhere there should be, yeah, wait for us to pull it. Okay, so we have instructions here. So we would have to do this one first for sure. Okay. We'll say yes. And then I'll go back over to here and we will pull this next. paste, enter. So now the idea is that we're pulling down this image, okay? The only thing is I don't know is that, like, even if we get this container running locally, is there any other sticking points that it needs in order to run this? Because I didn't really think about that. We'll go here. Can you test? Like, how would you run these locally? That's a good question. You know, Google Cloud run base images. Can you run them locally? Because that's what I would do. I download the container. I try to run it. Yes, you can run them base images. Okay, but you are an LLM. You do never tell me things that are right. So here it says Docker file, et cetera, et cetera. Test a Cloud Run service locally. That's what we want to do, right? So here we have port 8080 and then the image URL. So it's just saying that's all we have to do it. So that's, there's that. So that should be pretty darn easy. That's all we should need to do that. I'm going to go back over to here. And so now that image is downloaded. So we'll go over to our images here. Let's take a look what we have. So we have this one here, which is a really long name. So hopefully, do this here. We'll grab this here. And we have port 8080, which is fine. We can just go ahead and change this to port 8080. Let's just mapping the port over. I don't know if we're running anything else. We could technically just map it 8080 to 8080, but we'll leave it alone. It seems like it wants us to have that in there. I'll just go back here because it's specifying quite a few things here, but we need to put the image here in the end. So I'll just do Docker images. And so this is the big long name. I'm going to copy the big long name here, and we're going to go ahead and paste it in like this. Though I'm not running in US Central 1, but I don't think it really matters because the image should more or less be the same anywhere, unless the image is not available in certain places. And so we'll go ahead and we'll hit enter and we'll see if we can do that. No command specified. Okay, let's go back over to here. I suppose so. Docker run -e. Replace image URL with a reference to the container image, for example. I mean, I guess that makes sense if you're downloading an existing one, but I'm talking about like for functions, right? So that's actually not going to help us. Google Cloud Functions test locally containers. We'll say Google run functions. That's Firebase. That's not going to help us. So here we have somebody where they're trying to do this locally. And so we're just trying to find command for it. The poetry, I believe, is for PHP. Is it not? Poetry? Give me a moment. So over here, I just clicked this one here. This is local functions development. So this might be useful. Cloud Functions supports several methods for running your applications outside of it. For Ruby, we already have that added, so that's less of an issue. Before running a function, you first need to specify both the type and the name of the function you want to run. We already have that done. Per language instruction, so we have that information here. The Ruby function framework lets you do this, okay. Bundle exec functions framework, Ruby, target. We can do that, but again, it's an issue with the actual container, right? Not necessarily this. So this is not going to help us. We'll go back over to here and we'll change this over to hello get. Right? Normally we specify your function name. Yeah, it's hello get. We'll go over to here. This just says app. So I'm going to assume that it just assumes that it's app. And we'll go up here and we'll take a look. So we have a bunch of stuff spitting back at us. Logger was loaded for the standard library. You can add logger. Base64 cannot load such file base64. Okay, I mean, we could add base64. I'm not sure why we need to add that there, but we'll go ahead and do that. Because at the very least, if we can get it working here, then that should maybe mitigate some of our problems. And I just added it there. I actually didn't do a rebundle install, but maybe that's fine. We'll go ahead and open that. And it works here, so maybe we were just missing this. Again, I'm not sure why that would be an issue here. So what I'm gonna do is I guess I'll just go ahead and try to deploy this one more time. So what we'll do is go back over to our function. It would be nice if there was a way to, maybe there is, and I just don't know what I'm doing, but it would have been nice if there was a way to check the logs for that. So we go here, and I mean, there's logs right here. There is an error up here, maybe. Let's, can we pull this up? 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 And we can open that up like that. And yeah, that's kind of a pain. So we'll go back over to here where we can actually see our logs. Not sure I can't see them elsewhere there. But maybe somewhere here is the answer. So let me just crawl through this very carefully and see if it matches to what we're looking at. Yeah, so carefully crawling through this, I'm not getting anything that's really helping me to determine the problem. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and delete this function, and we'll deploy it again. I mean, we added that to our gem file. Our gem file should be part of our deployment. And so I would assume that that script took that into account when we deployed this, that's something that we would need. So we'll go ahead and we'll try this again. And we will do that again. I'm assuming the other one has finished. I'm not sure if that copied correctly. We'll try that one more time. Copy. And we'll paste that in again here. We'll hit enter. And we'll try to deploy one more time. If this doesn't work, we'll give up. But at the very least, you can see that we are debugging the logs. We're trying to figure it out. If Google's tutorial does not work, then it's not worth our time, at least not in the Ruby version. But it really should work everywhere, right? But here, you know, like, I don't know, like, does that framework actually use the underlying environments, or is it just using the local environment? Because that's another factor. But we will try this again and see what happens, okay? Okay, and we're not getting any error now, so this makes me think that it's deployed, and really adding that one single thing to that file made it work. So there you go. That's really bizarre, but you know, Google not having up-to-date tutorials is nothing new to me here. I wonder if there's a way that I could send feedback here. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. So we'll go here, this page, documentation feedback, Cloud Run, documentation feedback, this page. For the Ruby example, you need to include gem base64. Otherwise, it will error out. Okay. So go ahead. Good. And I hope they fix that. But there you go. We were able to deploy a function. I'm going to go here and just tear that down now that I'm done with it. So yeah, it's easy when the instructions are right. Anyway, ciao, ciao.